I'm satisfied with recent Capcom Showcase, from Resident Evil Village update and DLCs to Resident Evil 4 Remake, which I didn't know that I would be this hyped for it. And of course, like everyone, I played Resident Evil 4 on, what, everything? From PlayStation 2 to even on Nintendo Wii, I played Resident Evil 4 a couple of times, and this remake looks like that it offers something new. Something even scarier this time, and I'm all hyped for it. And the new third-person view of Resident Evil Village that I wanted from the start will be here too. What else can I want? I know, a Resident Evil review series on my channel, that I will place every Resident Evil title on my tier list, playing them once again, grading them based on how I find them. To be honest, I couldn't decide on how to start this video series first. Would that be Resident Evil 0, which is prequel to the first Resident Evil title, or playing the original Resident Evil with this new PlayStation Plus Premium? And after a while, I realized that I wanted myself a nicely cooked Jill sandwich.
You were almost a Jill sandwich.
You're right.
Well, right from the start, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't like the first Resident Evil title that much. Maybe the reason for it is that I met this series with the second title, trying to survive with the polygonal Leon within Raccoon City. If I were to explain why I don't prefer the first title, I know many of you won't agree with me perhaps. I find it a bit focused on inventory and item based puzzle elements, which I don't like that much. And this is the sole reason that I hate the GameCube remake version of the first Resident Evil, which increases the difficulty spike and overall inventory puzzle and ruins the survival aspects. But I'm a patient man. I wanted to refresh my memories of the first game and enter that cursed mansion in Arklay Mountains with Jill Valentine, aka the Sandwich Girl.
Jill sandwich.
But again, maybe I will push myself to try out the GameCube HD remastered version once again and give a decisive grade for that title too. Launched in '96, the first Resident Evil title was indeed, without any doubt, groundbreaking. It turned into the roots of lots of horror games, even the classics such as Silent Hill. So even if you don't like the first title, you gotta respect it. With its iconic fixed camera angles, tank controls and narrow corridors with full of threats and terrors, Resident Evil is indeed a classic, and this time, running around these corridors using my dodging skills and bullet keeping talents that I perfected over these couple of years, I enjoyed Resident Evil more than before. Even more than I expected to. This time I didn't stuck with lots of unnecessary items but kept my inventory fresh, only carried a pistol and a knife around until the second half of the game, cleared the way and gathered those sweet key items. Maybe my recent run of Dino Crisis also helped me by this, preparing me to finish the original Resident Evil only in 5 hours with Jill Valentine. First title starts with Alpha and Bravo Stars teams, a special unit of Raccoon City Police Department, trying to investigate the Arklay Mountains due to some grotesque incidents happening in that area. Many people are reporting that they saw monsters lurking in that area, and many half-eaten bodies were found. After the contact with Bravo team was lost, it's up to the Alpha team and their members to uncover the truth about the incident and investigate the unholy Arklay Mansion. As you might know, Chris Redfield, Jill Valentine, Albert Wesker and Barry Burton of Alpha team went to that area, encountered zombie dogs known as Cerberus, and forced to seek refuge in our most iconic mansion. Depending on the player, you either take the role of Chris Redfield, which is known more of a hard mode, and Jill Valentine, which is around easy to medium difficulty. After choosing your character, either Chris or Barry get separated from the rest of the team and you begin to search for your missing team members and also trying to find a way out. Within these holes, you encounter the most iconic zombie cutscene of them all. And then trying to find your way, collect key items that might grant you access to the locked doors and begin to solve puzzles in this maze. Although we are in the most iconic mansion of video game history, this is a maze, a claustrophobic maze in fact. And if you ever need ammo, healing items or need to save your progress, you need to collect items, discover save rooms, to take a breath and to manage your inventory and open up your map, trying to figure out where to go next. Every wrong step, every unnecessary turn would make you spend your valuable ammo or healing items, reducing your chance of survival. This is why Resident Evil series always seemed more of a survival experience rather than horror for me. I never use my gun unless I've been cornered by zombies or other mutated threats. Opened up my map within save rooms and planned my route, and then rushed through the narrow corridors trying to dodge just to keep my sweet ammunition for the next boss. But I overdid it. When I finished the game, I had like over 100 handgun bullets left in my item box that could have provided me a safer route. Don't ever play Resident Evil games like I do. But although everything worked fine, way better than before, there was something off with this version. So if you're gonna play this on PlayStation Plus premium stuff, keep that in mind that you won't be playing the director's cut version as Sony says, but the vanilla first Resident Evil version of PlayStation 1. I'm not sure if they fixed this issue now, but this made me play the original version, which I was also familiar with. These version changes also bring adjusted places for key items and puzzles. You can easily realize this by looking through the walkthroughs as well. This might be a hot take, but still, whether it's director's cut or not, I find the original Resident Evil better than its remake, since it brings more core gameplay changes that I don't really like. But then again, as I mentioned before, my ideas can change, and we will see. And you know what? Resident Evil starts with the cheesiest fucking intro ever, with live action video with Albert Wesker having the fake as fuck yellow hair, Chris yelling the worst desperate call to a fleeing helicopter, "No! Don't go!" and characters appearing on the screen as if they were on a sitcom like Friends. And the dialogue within the game feels like an amateur porn video from the 90s.
You saved me!
Yeah.
That was close. Thanks, Barry.
Don't mention it. What a monster. I can't believe... What the hell is this place anyway?
Despite all of these cheesiness, I love it. I love how ambitious Capcom was at that time, using live action and English dub as a Japanese video game company, and released this back in '96. And not only that, but also the iconic door loading screen, which never breaks the ambience, but on the other hand creates a tension about what's on the other side of the door. There are so many innovations and unique ideas that Resident Evil brought to the gaming industry that influenced so many games. But not Wesker's fake blonde hair or Barry's cheesy punchlines, I'm afraid. But I think it's also a ruthless experience for anyone starting playing Resident Evil these last couple of years. If you get into Resident Evil series, even with Resident Evil 2 Remake, you are gonna get frustrated with limited save options that are done with ink ribbon items, or when you miss your sweet infantry ammo due to fixed camera angle and then get eaten by a giant snake. I don't want to say that it aged badly, but it turned out to be rather into a hardcore experience with especially Chris's run. This uneasy feeling as a game that makes player uncomfortable and knife's edge feeling is the most valuable aspect of Resident Evil titles. And the first title has that due to having supplies scattered around the map, threats trying to eat you alive, and you as the player having no idea where to go next unless you're a speedrunner. Resident Evil is a classic with unforgettable moments, claustrophobic atmosphere, and cheesy punchline. But it deserves an A tier among my Resident Evil list. Even after 26 years and even after maybe 2 or 3 playthroughs, it can create a tension that puts you on the edge. I really wish to see a new remake of the first game with RE engine, and I hope one day Capcom announces that too. Resident Evil was always been and always will be one of the best survival titles for me. If there is any Resident Evil title that you would like to see next, share it by the comments below. I will be waiting.
You were almost a jibble sandwich.
You're right.